Hello everybody. So I've got another theatre review for you. Theatre? I'm telling you what energetic girl that I am. This week's one is, let me just sort this program out. Waitress! I have been wanting forever to see Waitress. I am obsessed with the soundtrack. I love Sarah Bareilles, and so I was really looking forward to this one. Now, I did not see the people who were on the front. I did not see Jeremy Jordan and I did not see Shoshana Bean. Was a little gutted, but at the same time it did not take away from my enjoyment to see their understudies, who were, mind the language, fucking brilliant. Jenna was played by Molly Jobe, who was incredible. Dr. Pomatter was played by Brandon Calm, and I can't imagine what he is like in real life based on the character, because the characters are kind of like very stuttery, he's kind of a bit shy, that kind of thing, and I could just, when I think of Dr. Pomatter, all I'm going to think of is Brandon Calm now. He was so good. And then Nurse Norma was Erica Jackson. So, yeah. I got to see Waitress in America and it was so good. Different tickets, so it doesn't tell me what discount we got, but I know that we got quite a good one. And again, we were sat in the orchestra. I had no idea how we got these tickets. We got incredibly lucky with what tickets were available. We saw it at the Brooks Atkinson Theatre, and we were sat in row D, and we were in seats 106, 107 and 108. Oh, it was so good. And I know my dad was thinking it was going to be quite a girly show, which I guess in a way it can be a bit of a girly show, but he really enjoyed it. He was laughing, he was crying. It is one that tugs on your heartstrings a bit. But yeah, it was just such a good show. I'm going to bring up the cast list, because as I said, of the three people that I did see, yes, I saw Charity Angel Dawson, I saw Caitlin Houlihan, Ben Thompson, Larry Marshall, Ben Elledge and Noah Galvin in the main roles. So I'll go through that again because I think I went a bit quick. Alright, so as Jenna, I saw Molly Jobe. Fucking brilliant. As Cal, I saw Benny Elledge. As Dawn, I saw Kate Houlihan. Houlihan? I want to say Houlihan. I'm sure people will correct me. Please do, because obviously when you haven't heard something out loud, the things you can make up in your head are brilliant. So somebody who does know how it's pronounced on any of the names that I have managed to screw up, please educate me so that I know how it's pronounced, please. Okay, so as Becky, I saw Charity Angel Dawson. I have no words for her voice. It was incredible. As Joe, I saw Larry Marshall. As Earl, I saw Ben Thompson. As Mother, it was Molly Hager. As Father, Dan Tracy. I've told you. Nurse Norma, I saw Erica Jackson. As Ogie, I saw Noah Calvin. He was brilliant. He was absolutely hilarious. He just had that character to a T. The way he jumped over the chair at the end of Ogie's song. Never Ever Getting Rid of Me. How could I forget the name of that song? That's such a good song. As Francine, I saw Stephanie Torns. As Francine, I just said that. I'm blind, apparently. Francine, Stephanie Torns, and then, based on what day I saw it, my Lulu was Everly Rotuno? Please educate me. And then in the ensemble, we've got Melody Abetz, Tyrone Davis Jr., Molly Hager, Jessie Hooker-Bailey, Max Kamangle, Stephanie Torrance and Dan Tracy. Swings are Andrew Fitch, Erica Jackson, Molly Jobe and Brandon Calm. Oh, so I saw the Swings, who are also all understudies for those roles, but I got to see the Swings. That's pretty cool. I'm just having some tea. This one's lemon and ginger to help with the throat. But as I said, I've been obsessed with this soundtrack for what feels like years. I have no idea when this show came out. The Swings that I saw were absolutely fantastic. There's a reason why they are Swings and they are understudies, because they are brilliant. They're absolutely absolutely fantastic. If anybody goes, oh, but I was really hoping to see Shoshana, well, you can fuck off. Because the fact is, you know, does it really make a difference? It's just like, in my head I was just thinking, oh, it would be cool to see Shoshana Bean and Jeremy Jordan. But at the same time I was just thinking, oh, but if they're not there, I don't mind. Yeah, it was a bit like, oh, I'm not going to see Shoshana Bean today. But the people who did play the roles were absolutely fantastic, and there's a reason they have this job, so please don't complain when you see understudies and you see swings, because they've worked hard on the show as well. But yes, so as I said, it was the Brooks Atkinson Theatre. This is my free playbill. I love that New York gives you free playbills. I've just got a collection of them under my bed at this point. Yeah, Sarah Bareilles wrote the music and the songs, and you can hear it. You can hear the songs in Sarah Bareilles' voice. To be fair, she did record a concept album of it as well, so that probably has something to do with it. The unique thing about this show is that the orchestra, the musicians are on stage. They're like the Diners band almost. They are the Diners band, you know, there's just a corner of the stage where they've got like the piano and they've got everything else, and it's just so good. And the guy who played Earl, oh my god, I don't know where to start, because okay, I think this is one I'm going to have to definitely spoil. To be fair, I probably spoiled all of them at this point. But the character of Earl is not a nice guy, because he's Jenna's husband. And it's weird though, because without actually showing any actual abuse, you're terrified of him. It must be quite difficult almost to kind of tap into that kind of anger. And I say that as kind of an actor myself, you know, who's learn how to kind of let everything out and then just shut everything off after a scene. Sometimes it can be hard to do that when you're tapping into an emotion that's kind of hard to control, especially anger. Anger is a really difficult one to control. That anger behind it, and there's even a song which on the soundtrack I've always kind of sung along with it and never really thought about kind of the abuse that you're kind of hearing throughout the song. When the sun don't shine, you will always be mine. You Will Still Be Mine, that's the name of the song. Because it's weird, because it's kind of a pretty song, but at the same time it's kind of terrifying when you're watching it being sung on stage, because you realise the manipulation that's going on. He's trying to remind her of the good times and making her think, oh, it's not all that bad. But then he goes straight into kind of the subtle abuse again. It's like taking little digs, of saying, you know, you're always going to be mine, you're always going to be here, you're never going to leave me, and all this sort of stuff. Which is weird, because when you look at a later song, which is Never Getting Rid of Me, the idea of the song kind of seems terrifying and stalkerish, but then he turns out to be quite a nice guy and, you know, he gets the girl kind of thing. The songs have been written really clever. And also, just Becky's I Didn't Plan It. I mean, I've always been obsessed with that song, because it's Kayla Sell who sings it on the soundtrack, who was the original Becky, and I've been in love with Kayla Sell ever since then. I think, because obviously the musical theatre community knew who she was before she went into Greatest Showman, and we knew how fantastic she was, because, you know, that wasn't her first rodeo, people. But yeah, it was just so good. It was so heartwarming. And there's a point at the end where Jenna finally stands up for herself and the whole audience cheered. We were just like, yes! You know, really kind of tell him who's boss kind of thing. And it was just so amazing. As a, you know, music absolutely fantastic. Not one weak thing to say. In fact, this one has no bad things to say. I do not remember anything where I was just thinking, you know, audience was brilliant. I love American audiences, they're so enthusiastic. I mean, I think the West End is getting, there is kind of a bit of a question over like theatre etiquette in the West End at the moment, I think. It has to do with the jukebox musicals, and also the kind of shows like Heathers and stuff, where they almost encourage you to act like it's a rock concert. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think when other people are coming in who, you know, are used to going to the theatre a lot, and then suddenly they see this new wave of kind of theatre fans coming across, or maybe just single actor fans who are just following that performer. Because I know that was a kind of a big deal with Heathers, with the Carrie Hope Fletcher fans. You know, I'm not going to say anything, because, you know, it's just bringing attention to it. I don't want to do that. But back to Waitress. Yeah, it was just absolutely brilliant. Music incredible, not one weak link among them. And everybody who I saw on this list were absolutely fantastic. Molly Jobe as Jenna. As I said, we cheered for her. We cheered for Jenna at the end when she was able to stand up to her husband. You know, we were all kind of siding kind of with the stuttery Dr. Pomatter as he was going through. And oh, his faces when he was eating the pies. Oh my God, it was brilliant. It was just so good. And Nurse Norma, Erica Jackson as Nurse Norma, she was just so funny. Because I've heard kind of they all have kind of their different twists and spins on the characters they're playing, and I've heard kind of the different ways that Nurse Norma's been portrayed, and Erica Jackson's Nurse Norma was just so funny. Just the way she would look at them when she like almost walked in on them and things. Oh, it was brilliant. Yeah, because I did actually sing. I sang When He Sees Me at a talent show. It was kind of a fundraiser when I was doing Sound of Music, and it was such a fun song to sing. And I kind of put my own spin on it, because when I was rehearsing it I just thought I don't really want to push the southern accent too much, especially, you know, in England, and I'm taking it out of the context of the show. So I turned it into what I call the Crazy Mary Poppins, which my dad thought was hilarious. The camera just stopped. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, so my dad does actually want me to record a version of When He Sees Me in my Crazy Mary Poppins voice, because I've just moved this slightly. You can see I've got my little setup over here. This probably needs cleaning though. I'll probably just give that a bit of a dust. But yeah, so that's my review of Waitress. Fantastic music, fantastic swings and understudies who I got to see. Wow, I need some breakfast. I've got a bagel downstairs. I'm gonna have a bagel with some eggs. But yeah, I definitely cried. Some of it, I think it's stuff that everybody can kind of relate to in a way. I couldn't believe how many emotions I went through when watching this. Because you've got the funny at the beginning, you know, where she's kind of taking the pregnancy test and stuff, and she's going, oh, you know, I do stupid things when I'm drunk, like sleep with my husband, and that kind of thing. And then you kind of get kind of the terrifying of the relationship with her husband. You get like the heartwarming with her relationship with Dr. Pomatter. You got also the comedy there with the kind of how they get together with the pies and everything. And then you've got the relationship between Dawn and Ogie that's developing, and then you've got everything else. And it's definitely a ride of emotions, this show, I think. I'm so glad that it's in London. Again, there's been controversy around the casting of the London show. I don't want to go into it because nobody knows the truth, okay? I just want to say that. The only people who know the truth are the people involved, so I think people should stop speculating and making up rumours when they don't know the whole story. And if they want to tell the story of what happened, they can. But stop making assumptions and kind of ganging up on people who probably had nothing to do with the decisions made. I'm just going to say that. I feel like this is the perfect video just to call out the people who I have seen on social media complaining to the hills about everything that's going on with Waitress London at the moment. So please don't take it out on the cast, because, you know, they didn't cast it. Don't take it out on the producers either, but just don't take it out on anyone in particular just because you don't know the whole story. Okay? I'm just going to say that. When you can, go see Waitress. Go see Waitress. Go see it in London. Go see it in New York. Go see it when it's on tour. I think it might be on tour in America at the moment. But yeah, it was just brilliant. It was just brilliant. And this is another programme to go under my bed with the rest of my collection. So thanks for watching. I hope I've been looking in the right place, because this is on my phone, I am so used to looking at myself. And I know that's vanity creeping in. But yes, so thank you for watching my video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. You can chat to me in the comments. I've noticed a few subscribers, the subscriber count going up a little bit. I know it shouldn't really matter, but it is nice to see that people are actually watching the stuff that I put out there. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next week. Mwah.